All right, Rick Gates is a former Trump campaign aide and author of the book Wicked Game. Rick, Hunter Biden's business dealings, all this stuff from the laptop did come up and actually came up as a question from the moderator, which I think surprised a lot of people. Here's Joe's response.
We had this whole question about whether or not, because he was on the board, I later learned of a Burisma, a company, that somehow I had done something wrong. Yet every single solitary person, when he was going through his impeachment, testifying under oath who worked for him, said, I did my job impeccably. I carried out U.S. policy. Not one single solitary thing was out of line. Not a single thing.
He said he later learned that his son was on that. We'll talk about all that. But do you think that the former vice president did a good job trying to clear the air on this scandal that is erupting in his face?
Look, I think that was the most definitive response he's given thus far, but it was still a lackluster response, and he's still not addressing the questions head on. He has still not come out and denied the existence of the laptop, the emails, evidence as of we had yesterday with Tony Bobulinski that, he came out and said he was an actual eyewitness to some of these events. So I think there's still a lot more unanswered questions that Biden has not answered. He has to do this to inform the American people. I know a lot of people said this is not an important issue. It is. It goes to exactly what Joe Biden raised last night, character. And this is poor character. If he's not going to come out and address these issues, which have dogged him now for, a little over a week.
Yeah, it's more than poor character. If the allegations are true, it's stone cold corruption. The president invited Tony Bobulinski to this thing. They had a presser right before the debate. The president then brings up the laptop. Biden called it a hoax, and what followed after that was maybe the most heated exchange of the night. Let's watch it.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
And that's exactly what.
Is this
that's
where you're
exactly
going?
what.
This is
going.
where he's going. The laptop is Russia,
Gentlemen,
Russia.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
You
okay?
have to be kidding. Here we
Mr.
go
President?
again with Russia.
It's fun to watch. You got a lot of experience with the Russia investigations. The DOJ and the FBI, which we know are not big fans of Donald Trump, confirmed that this is not a Russian disinformation campaign. So what is the story here with all of the media still trying to say that it is?
Well, look, Rob, this is an effort for the Biden campaign and Democrats to buy time. They just have to get to the election because they feel if Biden can win the election, then they can kind of just sweep this all under the carpet. Right. And right now, there's more evidence in this Biden fiasco, this foreign business entanglement, than there ever was in the Mueller investigation. And the fact that the tech giants are suppressing it, other Democrats are suppressing it, they're still spinning out there this idea that this could still be Russian disinformation after the intelligence community, through Director Radcliffe, came out and said, absolutely not. This all comes down to Hunter Biden not paying an $85 repair bill and leaving his computer at the shop where the gentleman gave the information to the FBI.
It's unbelievable. And part of what was in that laptop is this big deal they were trying to make with a company that was directly tied to the Chinese Communist Party. And there's a handful of people on an email that are talking about how they're going to divvy up all this money. They're going to make $10 million off China, a country that hates us. One of Hunter Biden's former business partners, one of the people that is on that email, Tony Bobulinski, spoke last night just before the debate. Here he is.
On May 13, 2017, I received an email concerning allocation of equity, which says 10% held by H for the big guy. In that email, there's no question that H stands for Hunter, big guy for his father, Joe Biden.
I want to get your take on this. To me, this is just a massive revelation that warrants full media exposure of what's going on here and full investigation. What do you think?
Absolutely. The most important part of that interview is near the end where he picks up his 3 phones and says, here it is. I have all the evidence. I'm turning it over to the Senate Judiciary Committee. That is what we need. That is the evidence. I appreciate, Tony getting up and saying that. There's a lot of speculation of why he did it. He's angry at the Bidens or whatever the case, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, if those devices have the evidence that the FBI and others need to show that the Bidens engage in corrupt and illicit activities, then that is the most important point of that. He's an eyewitness. This is the first eyewitness that stepped up, in this investigation. So each day we are seeing that it's gaining more credibility, which I go back. I hope the Republicans and the president will do a phenomenal job on this, but I hope the Republicans really go after this because they are going to try to delay and make sure this information does not get out before the election.
Yeah, you made a good point. That the first thing the media does is they try to figure out where it came from, and they don't even care if it's real. They just want to know if there's something wrong with where it came from, as if that even matters. Is it real or not? That's what people want to know. Rick Gates, good to see you. Thanks.
Thanks very much for having me.
All right.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.